What's going on? Welcome in the Matt Bernier Show on DRF TV, live.drf.com, livestream.com, the Daily Racing Forums Twitter handle at DRF Inside Post, as well as the Daily Racing Forums Facebook page. My name is Matt Bernier. You can follow me on Twitter at Bernier_Matt. This is the recap edition of the Matt Bernier Show, taking a look back at racing from this past weekend, June the 2nd. Big racing all across the country. Not nearly as many races as we normally go over, but I think a lot of that has to do with just the way everything lined up as far as the calendar is concerned. The calm before the storm leading into Belmont Stakes Week this week here. If you listen to the show podcast form, YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, video.drf.com. If you listen on YouTube, click that subscribe button. You'll get all the latest offerings from DRF TV. Also, give us the thumbs up button. Help push things out. If you listen on iTunes, give us a nice little rating and a review, whatever else it may be. If you listen on video.drf.com, you have access to all of the videos right there front and center. Again, this is the recap edition. We'll go over racing from Santa Anita, Penn National, Belmont Park, Woodbine. We'll get you a little bit of a stakes montage as well as the weekend's best performances from a buyer speed figure standpoint. And hopefully this will sort of get you ready to go. Prime the pump, have you ready to roll for big racing this upcoming week, all from Belmont Park. Not all, but most of it from Belmont Park, with the main event being the Belmont Stakes. 1.5 miles for 3-year-olds. We'll find out if Justify can win the Triple Crown. Another story for later on this week. We'll dive into that with the preview edition of the Matt Bernier Show, which will be up sometime on Thursday afternoon. And depending on how things shake down, if there needs to be a trip here, there, or somewhere in between, maybe timing will be changed. But for right now, plan on sometime Thursday afternoon, and it'll run live on Friday. Let's dive into the recaps, though, shall we? Let's start off with the Grade 1, the lone Grade 1 of the weekend out at Santa Anita. It was the Grade 1 Beholder Mile. Let's take a look at the field. Only 5 signed on, mainly because the big girl scared most people away. That would be Unique Bella. She was bet down to odds of 1-2. Jerry Hollendorfer, Mike Smith. Her main rival was Paradise Woods, and we would find out. Before this race started, I had said I really hope the connections of Paradise Woods, I hope they push hard. I want them on the lead and make Unique Bella make a decision. Well, all that happened. The difference is Unique Bella is just on a different level as far as talent is concerned. Michael Rona with the stretch run of the Beholder Mile.
Woods into the stretch, 7 lengths clear of Vale, Dory and La Force at the top of the lane, and the big grey powder keg detonates. In a few power-packed seconds, the Beholder Mile was as good as over. Unique Bella streaking away. On the outside, La Force getting to second, overtaking Paradise Woods. Unique Bella's brilliant power on full display today at Santa Anita. She wins the Beholder Mile clearly.
Bella gets the job done. She pays, what, $3 to win the Beholder Mile? Nothing spectacular, odds of 1-2, but she did it in the right way. La Force coming from way off of it. If you thought a pace duel was going to ensue and she could get a minor award, that's in fact what happened at odds of 24-1, the second longest shot on the board. And Paradise Woods, the pace setter, fades down the lane to finish third beneath Flavia Pratt at odds of 5-2. Let's take a look a little bit deeper at Unique Bella. She's only been out of the exacta one time in her career. That happened to be the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint. She's 8 of 11 lifetime, over $1 million in career earnings, owned by Don Alberto Stable, trained by Jerry Hollendorfer, bred by Brushwood Stable in Pennsylvania, ridden by Mike Smith, and you can see the pedigree at the bottom of her horse card. She is by Tappet of an unbridled song mare named Unrivaled Belle, who herself had some pretty major success throughout her career. Here's a couple of interesting pieces. 103 buyer speed figure for Unique Bella. 134 Timeform US rating. When you go through and look from a Timeform standpoint, the half mile and the 8th call. So the half mile point, the pace call of this race, as well as the call at the 8th pole, were both color-coded as fast, red, meaning it was probably a little bit more difficult if you were up on the front end or forwardly placed as opposed to coming off of it, which would help explain the situation with La Force, and would also help explain Paradise Woods folding as badly as she did. Would also help explain why Unique Bella, talent-wise, is up here, because she was able to be that close, basically pressing the pace and pushing it throughout, taking over, and still winning by open lengths. She won by 2 1/4 lengths here. The concern I have with her, and again, I understand some people probably take this the wrong way. This is not a knock. This is a concern, though, a legitimate concern. And it's a statement, whether you agree or disagree. If you agree, disagree, or have any other opinion, fire away in the comment section below on YouTube or shoot me a tweet on Twitter at Bernier_Matt. I think she's too fast for her own good. Because Mike Smith even said it afterward. He goes, she doesn't like it if you take hold of her. She likes to take it to the competition, and sometimes it can hurt you at the end. She's so talented, though. She puts so much ground between you and the competition that they can't make it up. Well, that's fine in an instance like this. But the notion of her going 9 furlongs, or the notion of her even trying 10 furlongs, she's so fast, and if you can't get her to relax a little bit against better horses that are probably a little bit better suited to go this distance and that are in better form, and I'm thinking strictly Breeders' Cup time, whether it is the Distaff or it is the Classic, should they choose to go that route, this is a really difficult position to be put in, because if you can't take hold of her, and you get someone else that's going to go out there and really push you hard in an instance like this. Let's say that she goes out there and there's a Paradise Woods in the race, and the two of them are duking it out. You know what? She puts Paradise Woods away. Well, what happens when the horse coming from the back isn't LaForce, and it ends up being somebody with a little bit more ability? And that's not to be a knock against LaForce, but it's just calling a spade a spade. What if it's a horse that has more talent than LaForce? Well, chances are, Unique Bella, you got to go an extra eighth of a mile if we're talking about the Distaff, an extra quarter if we're talking about the Classic. But the way that they were finishing, Unique Bella's final quarter in 26-26, LaForce came home in 25-18. There's just a part of me that wonders, are you thinking big picture? I think Brad Free tweeted it out. I kind of think you might have to start reassessing what her actual game is. And is she actually, in the long run, when it comes down to it, when the chips are down and you got to make a decision, is she a sprinter as opposed to a longer distance horse? She can do it against inferior company going this long, but I just wonder if you can't grab her. And Mike Smith said it. He goes, she's unique. She's a little bit quirky. She's not the easiest filly to handle. I just wonder, against better horses and having to deal with different waves of pressure, is it going to work for her? I don't know. No one can argue the talent. The talent is oozing. Everybody can see that. But it just, man, she's a tough one to really trust at super short odds unless she's just facing a far inferior field. But I'm thinking, again, way down the road, I'm thinking come first weekend in November, whether it's on Friday or Saturday. And actually now both of the races are on Saturday because they made the change with the scheduling for the Breeders' Cup. But I'm thinking one of those races, whether it's the Distaff or whether it's the Classic, if you chose to go in either one of those spots, I would be really, really hesitant to be taking her at a short price. In a race like the Filly and Mare Sprint, I think it's one of those instances where you can just let the natural speed go. And you know what? If she's not good enough, she's not good enough. But I do wonder about longer distances. Is she too fast for her own good? And I hope that makes some sense. And again, if you agree, disagree, whatever else it may be, let me know on Twitter or fire away in the comment section below. LaForce, this was something that we kind of drew up as a possibility when we went over this race in the preview, that, you know what, if you think it just completely is a crazy pace situation, maybe it melts down and LaForce comes with a run, she picks up a piece, she gets a grade 1 placing, the connections have to be thrilled. Paradise Woods, I tweeted after the race, this to me was a tale of three horses. You have Unique Bella, where she didn't really prove anything to me in this race. We already knew she was brilliant, and we knew that she was in good form, and she retained that good form. Paradise Woods, this is 2 starts in a row where she's been slow out of the box. I love that they were aggressive with her. I think this was the game plan. I think it was the correct game plan. You got to try to take it to the big girl. Unfortunately, I just don't think she can do it anymore. Now, it would have been asking a lot to take all that pressure from Unique Bella, put her away, and then still go on with it. I would have liked to have seen her finish a little bit better than she did, but I understand there are reasons why she folded as badly as she did. I hate that she's breaking slow. We've talked about it a number of times, particularly with the fillies and mares. When they start to break slow, that's a hallmark sign of them starting to go the wrong way. You factor in the physical issues that she's had with her feet. I love her. I think we might. I don't think we're going to see the good Paradise Woods anymore if she continues to go on. The real sort of just bomb in this race was Veil Dory. And that was the third piece of the third horse anyway that I spoke about in that tweet. I don't think she can run anymore. To me, it's kind of crystal clear. She couldn't. I get that those girls went unbelievably fast early on, 22-2, 44-4 for the half mile, 9-1 for 3 quarters. Veil Dory was a country mile behind them. And she just never really looked like she had much interest. She's 6 years old. This is 2 consecutive dull efforts after a long layoff from last year when she was running her eyeballs out against Stellar Wind. I just think it might, I hate to say it, it happens. All great athletes. At some point, Father Time just catches up and you don't have it anymore. For whatever reason, I don't think Veil Dory has it anymore, and I'm not sure Paradise Woods has it anymore. And Money Spunt, she was just in too tough. She was the longer shot on the board, 53-1. They took a chance. The horse that still has it, though, is Unique Bella. But she's just so raw. And Michael Rona called her a powder keg. That's exactly kind of how I feel about her. I think she is too raw and too fast for her own good. And I don't know if there's any way to rectify that. Perhaps as she continues to get older and mature, that'll change. But I kind of doubt that. We've gone out 11 times now. I don't think this is going to change at any point. Perhaps she just continues to find new gears. I don't know. I'd just be very reluctant against the best of the best going long with her running in an instance like this. The only other thing I'll add before we break and go on to the next race. I wonder if the 103 buyer is slightly on the high side because LaForce, the 99 that she earned running second, this is far and away the fastest race she's ever run. I just have a hard time I don't want to say a hard time, but it seems a little bit unlikely that she ran a 99, nearly a 100. I've never thought of LaForce like that. Perhaps it happened. This will be one to keep an eye on. At any rate, it would be, even if it was a couple points high, let's say LaForce really ran a 95 or a 96, that still puts Unique Bella right around 100. So it's not like she ran slow. I would just keep that in mind. Something to file away going forward. Perhaps this number is a little bit on the high side, but at any rate, Unique Bella, we know what she has. She has an unbelievable amount of talent. She is one of, if not the most talented horse in training, male or female. But I just still have those little concerns about her against better horses on the biggest stages. She's unbelievably talented, though, and we'll find out how that translates going forward. It sounds like right now, anyway, the Clement L. Hirsch is the planned goal at Del Mar. That would be on July the 29th at 8.5 furlongs. Jerry Hollendorfer also mentioned a race up at Saratoga over the summer. We'll find out, but Unique Bella, she is the queen. She gets the job done. The Grade 1 Beholder, 103 buyer, 134 Timeform US rating.